Spoiler alert, if you've been living under a rock for years and haven't played some of these, do not whine about it. You've been warned. Lately, I've been playing through some of the older Call of Duty games like Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2, and World at War, etc. And some of the more recent ones I've played as well, like Ghosts and Advanced Warfare, because I personally never played them when they first released. And I noticed that just throughout the series in general, there's a bit of plot holes that are in the single player stories, and to this day they haven't been fully explained. I'm gonna go over just 3 of these today. I'll probably shit on it, but know that for a lot of these I do love these games, but I find some of the plot holes kind of funny and ridiculous. These aren't really in any particular order either. No, I'm not becoming a clickbaity Call of Duty channel, I swear, if I see one comment like that. Number 3. Where the hell was Mason for 30 years? Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Once again, I'm sorry if you hear it sounds like I'm fucking in space. It's windy as hell, so I can't do anything about it. Don't comment about it or else. In Call of Duty Black Ops 2, we get a continuation of the story from the first Black Ops. One major part in the story is where we get a flashback for the mission Suffer With Me of Woods and Mason. They're both on a mission during the invasion of Panama. The main objective that they're tasked with is capturing Manuel Noriega, but during it, they're informed that instead of capturing him, they have a plan to exchange him for another prisoner. Towards the end of the mission, Woods and Mason split up without any conflict. Woods heads to the top of a building with Noriega and is then told the other prisoner is Raul Menendez, the main villain in Black Ops 2. The prisoner is then brought out with a bag over his head concealing his identity. Woods, who wants revenge on Menendez for what he put him through, is ecstatic, and the player most likely feeling the same as well, and they have the ability to kill Menendez or wound him with a sniper rifle, but little do they know that the person under the bag is really Alex Mason, Woods' friend. If the player chooses the less mortal wound, Mason will live on and return many, many years later in the game. Finally, returning in the year 2025, he finally sees his son and friend after being gone for about 30 goddamn years. So what's the problem with this story? Well, they never explain just where the hell he went for 30 years after receiving some serious sniper wounds as well. In the end of the mission where you shoot him, Mason is in the same room as his son, but he's laying presumably dead next to him. Why didn't he attempt to maybe try to escape, or let his son know that he's okay, or even try to kill Menendez, despite having those serious ass wounds? Because it's Call of Duty, so you would assume he's just going to do something like that. And plus, he doesn't even help Hudson, who gets his kneecaps blown off along with his fucking throat cut. I could go on questioning why he didn't do anything. He's kind of an asshole for this if you think about it. He never told his best friend who shot him that he's alive, so you don't have to live with thinking that you killed me, or telling his son that he's okay so he doesn't have to grow up without a dad. It's just such a plot hole I wish that they can fill. Shit, they can make a whole game on where he was for 30 years. Wait, I don't know if I should give them ideas because they just might ruin it, making Mason find his true self and end up looking like this working at Whole Foods. Number 2. What happened to Logan and Rourke at the end of the game? Call of Duty Ghosts. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of this Call of Duty or even the story because the dialogue just feels corny and cliche at times. Like this, for example.
I'm proud of you, Logan. Everything's gonna be okay.
It just bugs me, I don't know. I'll have a top cringy moments in COD coming soon. Seriously, I'm not kidding about that either. But yeah, forgive me for my lack of knowledge, and if I shit on it a bit extra as well. Call of Duty Ghosts is probably one of the more least popular titles in the series, but it's known for its huge cliffhanger ending. Now, before you say, well, give them time to make a sequel. First off, there hasn't been very much talk of Ghosts 2 in the first place. Infinity Ward already made another Call of Duty title called Infinite Warfare, so if they were planning on making a sequel, it probably would have happened already, but it's clear that due to lack of popularity that they scrapped it. It's been 5 going on 6 years now, and COD games are made in about 3 years, so I really don't think that we'll see a sequel at least anytime soon. I very well might be wrong, and if I am, feel free to tell me I told you so when it's announced. Back to the question. In the final mission of the game, The Ghost Killer, Logan and his brother Hesh are on a train that the main antagonist Rourke is also on, and they're finally one step away from killing him. In my opinion, Rourke is such a predictable villain, but he's being an asshole for a very important reason.
Well, that's just because I'm better than you.
The train crashes into the ocean. They eventually get to him fighting momentarily, and that's when Logan fires a revolver, striking Rourke and his brother Hesh. They swim out of the crashed train, making it on a beach where they sit watching the Federation ships, the main enemies, being destroyed. When suddenly, Rourke comes out of nowhere. He kicks you in the face and fucking kidnaps you. The final scene is of Logan sitting prisoner in some pit in the jungle. We never got any continuation. How in the hell did he survive that shot from the revolver, swim up after being blown away from the rushing water busting through the train cart, deep as hell in the ocean, and crawl to safety without struggle, even though you have a huge-ass wound, and then having to beat up and drag a grown-ass man after going through that? He should have died there. They must have been certain that we were gonna love this game because they seemed to have been so ready to make a sequel, but they really thought wrong. Even though I'm not a big fan of it at all, I would like to see a sequel just to see what they would do with the story and what they were planning, but it looks like we'll never know. Number 1. How exactly did Ghost die? Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Now, this last one is a little controversial, but I love this Call of Duty so much. In the mission Loose Ends, you play as Roach, a silent protagonist. Alongside him, you have Ghost and some other side characters. You're tasked with initially killing Vladimir Makarov, who's the main antagonist of Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. But the enemy knows you're coming and ambushes you in the very beginning. Fast forward a little bit, you make it to what's said to be Makarov's safe house, and you find no sign of him, but you find a shit ton of information in this house, so for a few minutes you must defend yourselves in a DSM, which is downloading a bunch of intel from a computer found inside the house. Once that's done, you make an escape to the extraction zone, but get injured by an explosion. You're then helped by your comrade Ghost to rescue. You come in contact with General Shepard, who, until this moment, is an ally throughout the game. He betrays you and Ghost to take credit for the crucial intel that you found on Vladimir Makarov. There's more to why he kills you, but I don't feel like getting into it to drag this video out. He shoots you and Ghost and then douses you guys in gasoline and sets you guys on fire. Now, why is there controversy? Well, many people were just so confused on how Ghost was killed from that gunshot because it didn't look like it really hit anything vital. People to this day claim he did not die from that. People for years have been going on about this one particular rumor where people claim Ghost at the beginning of the mission says something along the lines of, "Why are we wearing these fireproof vests?" And I found a video that's clear evidence of that. Take a look.
Oh god, I can't believe I have to wear this fireproof vest. This is so unnecessary unless somebody pours gasoline on me and sets me on fire. This is almost as stupid as my mask isn't because it conceals my gunshot wound to my head that I got from Zakhaev.
Just fucking with you. Someone made that video years ago, but it made me laugh and it didn't really go viral ever. But people insist that he says that somewhere, and I've never found any evidence of it, nor has Ghost ever made a return in any of the other Call of Duty games. It is strange that the creators didn't decide to have him get shot in the head or something like that, because it was such an odd spot where he got shot, how he collapses and just dies instantly from that gunshot wound. There's no way that getting shot there would kill you instantly like that. Maybe they purposely had him get shot there because they intended to have him come back later on in the series maybe, but decided not to go along with that or cut it at last minute and just didn't feel like changing the scene or something. I don't know. We will never know really, but if they do make some kind of story, then he'll probably be working at Whole Foods as well. That's it for this video. I do hope some of you Call of Duty veterans enjoyed watching this. Make sure to follow me on Twitter for all my latest updates and shit. You all know that. And no, I'm not becoming a Call of Duty channel. Don't comment that, please. Later.